Hello everybody. Well, got another project going here. It is an ambusher, 5-foot skid steer hydraulic bush hog. It's my brother's, of course. He's got all the fun stuff, but he has a Kramer, which is a rubber tired loader type of thing that he's got several attachments for. And when he bought this was originally made for a skid steer, and someone adapted it to fit his Kramer by adding these things. These are 1.25 inches wide, but you see the original quick disconnect plate down here, that it's time. My brother bought a new skid steer, a really nice Kubota SV something 95, but that is sweet, and it's got more than enough horsepower to handle this thing. And the Kramer just never had the hydraulics to turn this. So my goal is to try to undo whatever the last guy did. Huge welds here all the way around. I thought the best way to do it is simply to cut, I got a sun problem here, is to cut the whole thing off, the skid steer plate, and all this will come off with it, and put a new skid steer plate on it. But they're not readily available in 5/16, and they're $200, and my time is worth, 10 cents a day or something. So I might try to torch this off. So that's the project of the day. Don't know how it's going to go, but I'll keep you posted. Okay, while I'm moving it around, I always like to see, is a heavy son of a gun. Basically 1,400 pounds, $13.97. So a lot of steel in this thing. Almost 3/4 of a ton. Yeah, it's ugly. There's liquid or moisture back there between the two plates. That's what's dogging me there. I've got this bottom hacked out pretty good. I'm not a pro, that's for sure, but I got to get up there, and we'll keep on going. All right, well, my first time all the way around. Not pretty. That's for sure. I hit it with the 10-pounder, and of course it didn't budge. So I've got some splatter in here holding this thing on, so I'm gonna go chase that down a little bit. Hopefully the next time this will be off of here. Whew. Okay, it's off. Several hours. Of course I ran out of oxygen, right? You gotta run out of something halfway through every job. But it came off. It's funny, these things, they'll be warm tomorrow morning. So this is That looks like about 3/4 plate and 5/16 plate. Come on. And remember I was telling you that seam in between there, what they did, and the guy did a great job, no doubt about that, but he took a 3/4 inch plate and he just welded it right on to the two pads on your normal skid steer quick attach plate. So that's what this plate is. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to separate this plate from this plate. I'm going to cut right down there with the cut-off wheel. Go around here, separate that, and then take that and weld it right back in there. So you can see, man, it ain't pretty. I'll clean all that up though. But the good thing is, these bottom things and this top area all intact and in good shape. And this is what I was saying before. Come on. Whatever paint, powder coating, rust, whatever was right along that seam made it a real bugger to torch through. Oh my goodness, it wouldn't, I'd get all the way through the 3/4 inch steel, and then I'd have to just push through that 5/8 inch piece. But it's off. Now, reconstruction. All right. Well, it's the next morning. These aren't still warm. But I thought I'm out here looking through my boneyard, and I know I showed you guys my indoor boneyard. But I have a few outdoor boneyards that I just keep stuff to repurpose in. There's the old beam to the gantry crane. That stuff over there, I've just kind of thrown that out now. I will scrap that. This is what I had to dig through to get to that piece. And this is, I think I'm going to go a different direction, and I'm going to make new ones of the plates in there instead of taking too long. I don't have a plasma cutter, darn it, into cutting those other ones off. So I just thought I'd show you this boneyard. We all should have one of these. All right, just a quick update. I'm starting to clean this up, and one of my problems is all this weld buildup under this top flange. If we can't get the skid steer up into there far enough, okay, then it won't be able to seat in the bottom. So I really have to take this weld buildup, and the last guy that turned it into a Kramer mount did like I would do, and he just laid the weld in there. That is up significantly, 1/4 or more of an inch. So that's my problem. So over here, I ended up cutting this side piece out. I cut this off flush and clean, and now I'm grinding all that weld buildup out of there. I had to cut the end off right here because this is all built up. I got to get out of there yet. I've got out most of it, but I wouldn't be able to get the grinder in there. So that's what we got going here. Got some out of that Boneyard. I got some 5/16 old frame rail that I'll probably incorporate somehow, and I might be back to trying to harvest these plates off the back of here, but I'll keep you posted. All right, so I did reuse these plates here from the original mount. I separated them from that piece, which was kind of a pain in the neck, and then since they're too small now, I used a backer plate type of system here, where I took some 1/4 inch by 1 inch stock and I tacked it, or actually welded it, to the back of that, a little bit bigger on the end because I was significantly shorter there. And so that's what we got there. This is a piece of that frame rail down there that I put in here. So this piece is kind of tacked together and ready to weld up into here. I ended up painting the back of this stuff so I can, because may not be able to get that very well when it's on here. But I got this side. I did the exact same thing over here, and this thing is ready, let's see, to be filled in. Okay, so basically I'm gonna weld that backer plate is going to hold the weld, then I'm going to bring it flush. Okay, flush with that. So that's where we're at right now. I did bring this bottom backer piece out so I could get a bead of weld on the outside, and of course this is going to be filled up with weld, so that will be strong. I'll fill this thing in, but I got one more to put on here. Before I weld them hard, I'll put them on I'll hook it up to the John Deere, make sure it all fits, and then I will weld them up hard. I'll bring you back. Okay, quick little update. The root pass of all of this is done. So the backer plate is covered, and I dug in to all those pieces. So the 3 pieces, still hot, this backer plate and side. So that's dug in pretty good. I still got tons of stuff to fill in there, but that's where we're at so far. I've got this thing cleaned up a little bit, and I'm going to put a piece in there. This side's also done. So I'm really burning this in here to the best of my ability. Of course, I was going to stick weld this, but this old girl is earning her keep now. I got it pegged, which I don't often do, actually. And man, it's burning in there. So I'm going to stick with this. So I'll bring you back. Hopefully next time you see this, we'll be done. I did put it on the John Deere and wiggle it around a little bit. Works great, fits great. So now it's just a welding. Quick update, everybody. Okay, so welding is done, cleaned up a little bit. All all went well. Notice I filled that thing in, and this one good too. Everything's good. And I put that piece in there, then ran out of shielding gas. Typical. So graciously, my wife ran to get shielding gas, so I looked for other things to do, and sure enough, see that crack? This thing is inherently bad. This is a Ambusher 72, and when I googled them up, they all have these diagonals on them. So I am going to install those diagonals. I'm going to put a cover on that open hole there. And I'm going to, when I weld that up, you can see how that cracked. So we'll get this thing, but seems to be going good. Next up, weld that, and then those supports, and I should be done. While I'm under here, just show you the bottom of that. Welded some new nuts on the bottom there, and I just can't help myself. I gotta fix that crack. That's the crack I welded from the top side, but I'm gonna grind it out and fix it from down here too. It's a big, ugly machine. Okay guys, that'll do it for this one. All done. I put a link right there, and some type of safety chain goes there, so I thought I'd throw one on there. Came out pretty good. I know good welders never have to grind their welds. I'm not a good welder. There's that one I fixed there. There's that access port that I put in. Not bad. There's where that piece was added. Anyway, all right, all done. Have a great time, guys. See ya.